Welcome to One Crack News. And a lot of people are outraged in the city of Chicago about how the police department has handled its investigation in the high-profile Jussie Smollett situation and neglected some of the minorities cases in the inner city of missing people. And here we go.
Chicago against violence. Why are we here today? Because many people know that 2 weeks ago, an entertainer from Empire was assaulted. And the city used many of the taxpayers' dollars and thousands of man-hours with 12 detectives to solve this crime within 2 weeks. I live on the south side of Chicago, and I have been fighting crime for over 27 years.
Yes, he has.
And one thing that I notice is that many of the Afro-American crimes, murders, go unsolved on the south side and the west side in the black community. So what I'm here today to do is to call for an investigation on how the detectives are assigned in the black and brown community as well as the white and rich community up north. We have to find out who assigned them and how they're assigned and how the dollars are unfairly utilized in regards to the resources to find the criminals that have created these murders in our community. So I'm calling on Karami Raul and the U.S. District Attorney to come in and investigate how these detectives in the city of Chicago somehow seem to find enough detectives when it comes to the white and the wealthy community, such as Jussie from Empire, but cannot find enough resources when it comes down to the black and brown community. So I'm calling on an investigation on the allocation of the resources in our community. So I stand here with many people that has been affected to this gun violence and murders still not solved, such as Sheila Russ, Damian Turner, 9 years. And she would testify to how she haven't heard from a detective, and many, many more. So once again, I'm calling on an investigation on how the detectives are assigned in the black community. Thank you so much. I want to introduce you to Sheila Rush.
Hi, good morning. My name is spelled S-H-E-I-L-A, last name Rush, R-U-S-H. So I stand here today, let me take you back to August the 15th, 2010. My son, Damian Turner, was murdered that day. They took him far away. Everyone knows about the trauma center campaign that we led, which now is the Level 1 Trauma Center at the University of Chicago Hospital. But that was a success, but not being heard or being able to speak about it or even receive one phone call. 9 years has passed. And this brings to my attention that we are all in need of help sometime, but not to receive a phone call from the CPD, Chicago Police Department, 9 years, no leads or anything to support what we stay here today for. And I'm just calling on Chicago Police today to listen to our words and listen to what we're here talking about today. Like I said, it's been 9 years, and I want justice.
Hello, my name is Keith Glover, K-E-I-T-H, Glover, G-L-O-V-E-R. I'm calling because 3 people were affected. My youngest brother, Kayan, was murdered. That was in 2015. And the assailant possibly could be responsible for the shooting of my father and my elder brother. My father was shot 2 times in the back, and my little brother was shot 4 times. Both of them are okay, but my brother's paralyzed. And so I've had 2 people been murdered, 3 people been injured in my family.
and I have not heard anything from the detective. And it's not that all lives matter. Black lives do matter. And we're just calling for someone to reach out and let us know that these people are important. They matter to me the most. Thank you.
Okay. I'm Tio Hardeman, president of Violence Interrupters Incorporated. I stand here in unity with everybody today, and I would like to just pose the question: How was it that CPD can assign 12 detectives for a Hollywood superstar and assign 0 detectives to some of these young brothers and sisters that are being killed on the streets of Chicago? It makes no sense. A Hollywood superstar, a boy that cried wolf, should not get no special treatment when it comes down to all the homicides that are taking place in Chicago. We have a homicide clearance rate of 14 to 16%. Totally unacceptable. So why is there so much prejudice being used when it comes down to the north side versus the south side or the west or the east side? It's the tale of two cities. The situation with Jussie Smollett should never have taken the turn where they assigned so many city resources to find out that this guy allegedly paid some people to attack him. It makes no sense. Most of us knew the young man was lying when he first came out with the story. I was one of the first guys that spoke out against his story because I'm a native. I've been born and raised in Chicago, and I know what takes place in Chicago. Nobody's going around in Chicago shouting, make America great again, country, #1. And if you get beat up in Chicago, you get beat up for real. These people here lost their loved ones to gun violence. Some of their loved ones were injured by gun violence, and we want answers right now. And we must say no to the different treatment that we're receiving on the south, east, and west side of Chicago. That's why we stand unified today. Thank you.
All right. Good morning. My name is Eric Russell, ERICRUSSELL, the American activist, president of the Tree of Life Justice League. First of all, we want to thank our dear brother Andre Smith, automatic candidate in the 20th ward, because the 20th ward is one of those wards. Since the beginning of the year, we have had 7 young men shot in the 20th ward, and not one arrest has been made. We are not here. There is some real outrage this morning. We are not concerned about TV Nielsen ratings. We are concerned about CPD clearance ratings, where 8 out of 10 shooters get away with murder in Chicago. When is the last time we have seen a perk walk? The Chicago police is more concerned about the city getting a black eye than black families getting answers and justice. To our dear brother Smollett, yes, we are upset because you do our movement a disservice.
That's right.
There have been 4,872 black people lynched since 1857. And I dare you, my dear brother, as our brother Tio said, cry wolf. You do a disservice to our community. You do a disservice to our people who have lost their lives. Every tree that bears strange fruit, my dear brother, you create blasphemy. Chicago is a town, if I may use the vernacular of the street, Chicago is a town of blunts and bullets. We were skeptical when we heard this, because one thing that we know is that we know that white people behave badly, but we know that a brother, a light-skinned brother, didn't need no bleach. We know that this brother needs to apologize to his people. He needs to apologize to his community. And moving forward, we have started to put together, under the auspices of Mr. Smith here, a class action lawsuit against Jussie Smollett. Because not only did he do a disservice to the Chicago police, where they had to allocate resources, but he did a disservice to our community, those of us who are on the front line. So we're looking at that, brother, in a real serious sort of way. Again, we have a tale of two cities, the have versus the have-nots. We are not homophobic. We are not celebrity bashers. we care about equity in our community, and we care about resources being allocated to solve black crime and bring some closure to this vicious circle of gun violence that we find ourselves in. And we thank you, Brother Andre Smith, for your clarion call to bring equity to the 20th Ward. And we look forward to you being the next alderman, my dear brother.
Yes.
My name is Corey Mason. I'm co-founder of Fly Fielders, leading by the youth. We fought for the Trauma Center here in the University of Chicago. And not too many brothers and sisters who experience gun violence or violence in their community will become activists and fight for change in the community. A lot of times, once we experience this neglect of our community resources and police officers, we would take justice in our own hands. It's not that we want to do it. It's not because we want to be drillers and killers. It's because this neglect. And the thing that ultimately needs to be addressed is that neglect and the disservice in our communities, because our dreams become deferred and we end up dead in jail. And that's not what we want. That's not what our mothers want. That's not what our communities want.
All right, so once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out. And I don't want anybody to have the wrong perception of what this call is about. This call is about the two cities that everybody know within one city. This call is about the unfair treatment to the black community on the south and west side of Chicago. This call is about who gives the direction and the assignments to the detectives of the city of Chicago that post to police our streets. So we're calling on an investigation on the allocation of our resources and our tax dollars in the direction of the detectives and who assigned them. Because to me, it looked like there's a motive of prejudice. It looks like it's a motive to allow black and brown people to be killed in the city of Chicago and to protect the white people and the rich and wealthy people. So therefore, we're calling on the U.S. District Attorney, Karami Raoul, and anyone else that can investigate this, because this is a unfair act within the black community. So we say no more will we tolerate our young people being gunned down in the city of Chicago and these murders not solved in the city of Chicago. We want answers, and we want answers now. Solve all crimes. 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 Solve all crimes.
Solve all crimes.
Y'all did a great job. Great.
So there you have it. One Crack News. I'm out. Tell me what you think.